Hello and welcome to the Yarnings Podcast. I'm Christine and I'll be your host. This is episode 78. It is Monday. Oh, what day is it? It is not Monday even. It's Friday, January 29th. It is an afternoon. I am recording and it is dry. There's no rain out there, which is surprising. It's been a little bit warmer this week, so that's been nice. I just got drizzled on a little bit on Tuesday, and that was so much better than drenched. Tuesdays, I go out of the house for a good part of the day, and so that's the important day for me with the weather. So welcome to the Yarnings Podcast. I am so glad you're here. We are going to talk about all sorts of exciting things today, as you can see from the stuff behind me. And yes, let's move into some life stories. Life stories. This has been an okay week. Not too much has gone on. I've done a lot of extra resting. I was able to leave the window open one day for a while because it was so nice outside, and that felt nice to kind of air out the house. We've had a couple bugs and sicknesses, not actual creepy crawlies. We've had some sicknesses and all that, and so it was nice to air out the house. And I'm knitting with a band-aid on my finger, and it keeps trying to take it off. Okay, what else? I wrote something else down. Oh, underneath me, I have a new floor mat. My old one it cracked like immediately when I put my chair on it. And so I have lived for the last year plus with a floor mat with big giant cracks in it. And if you walked on it with bare feet, it not only made funny noises, but it caught your feet and grabbed it, tried to pull it into the cracks. So I am so happy to have found one at Costco of all places that was fairly reasonably priced, and now I can move my chair all nice and smooth, and that's so nice. And it goes all the way from this desk to this desk, and so I'll be able to work at either side more easily. So that's kind of fun. This desk that you guys are sitting on is more my writing side and recording side, and so there's generally more papers over here. So, yeah. All right. So, I think that's all the life stories. Let's move into yarnings and adventures in knitting. I have a finished object, but I'm not going to show it to you guys yet because it is a new design. This is the one that I gave little sneak peeks of last time, and there were some beads in there. And it is beautiful and wonderful, and I'm so excited. I have some yarn support, and I have a potential tester lined up, and it is fabulous, and I cannot wait to release this pattern. So I need to sit down, take my handwritten notes, my handwritten charts, turn them digital, and work on that process. So excited about that. So I do have a finished object, just can't show it. I also have an almost finished object. There we go. This is what I was calling my cozy boxy. This is going to be super cozy. And I have one sleeve done on this side. It looks short, but that's what the pattern called for. It will probably come to mid-arm when it's blocked out. And I'm working on the second small sleeve. I found I really don't like magic looping sleeves on my larger Chow Goose. So this is a Chow Goose size 9, and so it's got the thicker cable, the thicker little piece that attaches on the interchangeables, and it makes it a lot harder to magic loop. I probably hadn't noticed this so much because I usually do them 2 at a time, but because these were so short and it was so much fabric in between, I decided that it would be easier to do them 1 at a time. So I am making it through. I might, next time I do a worsted weight sweater that I think I will do one at a time sleeves, I might order some ChowGoo DPNs. I have Knit Picks DPNs, but they are not very pointy, and I really like my ChowGoos. So perhaps for the size 9 and above projects, I just need to plan on using a little different tool. It works. It's just a little more difficult to pull the cable out, pull the cable in. So I have another 4 inches to go, I think, and that will be done. I did the neckband. Let's see, am I on the right side? Yes. I did the neckband, and the bottom is all done. So I finished it off on the neck and the top with garter, because that kind of mirrors the texturing on here. And so I liked that idea better than, she had it as a rolled neckline on the top and ribbing on the bottom. But I did go ahead and do 1x1 rib on the sleeves, just because I think that they will grip better on my arms and not flare out. I don't mind if it flares out a little bit in the other places. I may, once I block it, I will decide, I may need to go back around here with a crochet chain to tighten that up just a touch. I probably could have bound off a little more snugly, but yeah, I think it's going to be fine once I block it. So I'm really looking forward. I'm dropping things. Really looking forward to blocking this and seeing how it looks, because I think it's going to look more drapey just based on what my swatch looked like. Let's see, can I reach my swatch? I have them all pinned up back there. My swatch was pretty nice and drapey. A little more so than what the sweater is. So I think it's going to come out really nice, and hopefully next week you will see me wearing it. And this alpaca yarn, so this is a touch of tweed, alpaca tweed, a touch of twist is the company. And the colorway, Stormy Skies, and the pattern is by Hokey Lokey Worsted Boxy. But the alpaca is kind of sheddy, and so the outside of my bag needs a good lint rolling. This is a kitchen counter crafty bag from Java Jenny. All right. What's next? New work in progress is my castle socks. So this is another Crafty Girl strong sock in the Countryside Castle colorway. It is inspired by Castles of Burgundy, the board game, which I love. And my little sock toes are still pretty wee. The toes are not done yet. But I got to knit on them last night while we played the game, and I have a feeling that knitting on these is going to make me want to play Castles of Burgundy even a little more often. And I'm totally fine with that. And if I'm lucky, I will have these done in time for my next game convention. So I can wear them and have all that happy, gamey vibes going on. So they're coming out really cute, and I am really excited to be working on them. I cast them on Tuesday, so not too much progress. I was working on other things while I was out and about too, so they didn't get a lot of love, but a bit. So that's that. What I was knitting on when we started is another Swiffer cover. This is the one that I worked on and knit completely during Star Wars The Force Awakens. The Force Awakens? Yeah. So I have I'm doing a little long. I'm going to flip the ends under and seam them to make them little pockets. We'll see how well that works. So I'm probably halfway done. And I picked it up to work on now because the other things are all at spots where I need to think about increases and decreases and sock toe increases and sleeve increases and all that. Sleeve decreases, sorry. So, that is that. I have this in the wrong category. Let's skip. Reminder to self, move that item. I'm silly today. All right, so needle adjacent project is also some stash enhancement. I stuck it all in this little basket because I haven't quite confirmed. I am going to make Christmas in July, which is a yoked colorwork sweater in a fingering weight, and it's got 12 different colors in the yoke, and then the body and the sleeves are all a solid color. So this is going to be the solid color. This is Holiday Yarns Flock Sock Fingering in the Persephone colorway. I got this at Rhinebeck in 2014, the time I went to Rhinebeck. And I have 1,200 yards of that. So what I need is colors. So I went digging through for some solid or mostly solid colorways. I've got some grays, come back, grays and oranges, turquoise, and then I got this loveliness from Happy Knits, who had a free shipping deal, and so I went ahead and got it online. These are 5 colors of unicorn tails. We've got Flash Dance and Onyx and Dust Bowl and Antique Lace and Tart. So I think these are going to look really nice for kind of a Christine, almost Valentine color, and then add in some of the colors that I have already. I also have some Dream in Color Jilly, and I don't necessarily want to use too much of it because it's a nice full skein, but I could use some of it and it's a single ply like those. And I also have some Trodden, which is a little pinker than the Dust Bowl. Is that one Dust Bowl? Nope, Antique Lace. It's a little pinker than the Antique Lace. So I'm going to open up the chart, the color chart, in a photo editor and put some of these color guesstimations in there and see what color combination will work, if there's any of these colors that I could just repeat, and how much I might need. So that is the next sweater. And this sweater, the pattern was a gift from my friend Heather. So I have Rhinebeck Memories and Heather Happiness will be all merged into this project. And it's in one of my Madrona baskets. Off. Oregon Flock and Fiber baskets. There's always a basket person that comes, and I have a couple of these that I really, really like. So I stuck them all in here today so that they could be contained, because I obviously need to do some winding and some swatching and all that, but I wanted to get it all in one place. So the unicorn tails were the stash acquisition of the week. Okay, so let's move into yarnings and spinning a tail. Last week I showed you this lovely 3 Fates superwash nylon. Yeah, superwash nylon. It's coming out very nice and fine, and here is the second one, still on the spindle. Again, we're getting blues and purples, and then there's bits of the orange kind of reads as tan. It's never really an orange in there because it just kind of blends in. I don't know if I draft how normal people draft, but I get a lot of muted transitions. So at some point it would be really fun for me to go, now that I've spun a little bit more, to go and sit and watch friends spin and see how they draft a little more. Maybe I can do that some at ZK this year and see what people do. But yeah, I drafted out pretty fine, just a little section at a time. This is just the end of a section. Generally, I will take off about that. However much I need to pull to get that much off and then pre-draft that. And that takes me about an hour's worth of TV to spin it up. So that was how much was left after Agents of Carter this week. What did I say? Agent Carter, not Agents of Carter. That is my spinning. The stash acquisition that I got related to that, I have yarn wrapped around my leg. Stash acquisition for spinning a tail. I had gotten this before we recorded last week and I forgot to show it. I have 2 of these. Come out, come out. This is Hobbledehoy. And this is the Kaylee's Parasol colorway. So they're little batlings, which I have never spun. Let's see, remind myself what this base is. So Polworth wool, milk, silk, soy silk, and sparkle. So I have a total of 4 ounces. And they're cute little poofs. So I need to do just a little bit of research and see how the best way to spin little batlings are. They're so adorable, and look, it's totally Kaylee Parasol colorways. I actually have my Kaylee's Parasol up there, an actual size, beautiful parasol, which is from Firefly. If you're not a Whedon fan, you may not have caught that. Sorry. You know I am, though. And Leah may need to get some of these, too, because they're so adorable. So, yes, this is from Hobbledehoy. Liz, who I met at ZK last year, and she is just a darling person. So I pre-ordered these, and they came, and I'm thinking I might spin them on my Trindle. I think that might be a fun way to spin them up, make something lovely and wonderful, and I don't even know how I will apply this or whatever, because I've never done anything separated up like this into the little bats. So maybe I need to call in some reinforcements and ask some friends. You guys are all my friends. If you have some ideas, post them on the board. So that was my stash enhancement for spinning. For yarning Stitch Through Time, I have a new paper piecing project. Well, let's talk about this one first. Let's see if I can take it down and put it back up when I'm done. So this is what my paper piecing turned into. It's that long. So it is 4 feet-ish. I have it up on the wall with some hooks by these dowels. So there's a dowel up here, and there's a dowel down here. And I thought I was going to put hooks on the bottom to stretch it out, but just the weight of the dowel was enough to pull it down. And then the middle was flipping, and so I got another dowel, made some little pockets. They're just sewn on there, 1, 2, 3 edges, and stuck the dowel in there. And so now it lays flat against the wall really nicely. So I kind of made an abstract shape. I just kind of made it go from skinnier to wider to skinnier. There are many, many, many flower shapes, but then the black, this black, there's another black background one, but these darker blacks are in there every section, so you can see the circles of them. They divide things up evenly. Pretty awesome for my first paper piecing. And the dowels are in there again, just with more tacked on hexies. So this was my first paper piecing project, and I am super duper proud of it. But I'm not done. I want to do lots more. Stretch you back out. Here we go. I just thought it would be fun to have that as the background for today because I didn't have it up here last week. So I've started a new paper piecing project, but it is secret. But I'm doing some very little accessories to hexagons, and I have not quite figured out how to properly baste them, but they're seeming to work. So these are teeny tiny. These are like 3/4 of an inch sides, and I think that I cut my fabric with too much excess on the sides, and so that's why I'm having more problems. So when I'm done with this project and it's been gifted, I will show a picture of it. But I am using some templates from a new Hexagon, which is by Katja. I can't think of what her name is. Let me tell you, because it is up in my Goodreader, because I bought the ebook of it, because then I can print out the templates. If I open it up on my computer, I can print out the templates. So let's unplug this and I'll actually show you. Let's go to the beginning. A new Hexagon by Katja Merrick, and it's 52 blocks to paper piece, and so it's got templates for, show you one of the pages of the so it's got a bunch of different templates for how you would put things together that go inside of a hexagon, and then you can do projects with other hexagons inside of them and make something bigger. And so this will give me an opportunity to try out different shapes, because this was all hexagons. This was all the exact same size hexagons. But there's a lot more to paper piecing than hexagons, although I love hexagons. So that's why this is enticing, because you still get the shape, the general shape of hexagons, but you don't have to just do, I'll show you one of the, so like a quilt that is made of a bunch of hexagons and then diamonds or triangles, I guess, big triangles and solid hexagons. So there's things like that in here, and so I'm really excited to try more of those kind of things out. So those will be future projects. I also have sitting here, I'm going to rotate you just a little bit, my sewing machine. It is out of its box, but not out of its plastic. It will be sitting on that side of the wall when I'm done. I have the manual out, and I'd like to do some reading of that. I'm just moving slowly these days. And I'm not scared to start it. I just would like to be ready to start it. so there's no hurry. I have time. Okay, so knitting community. I need to draw a prize. Okay, hold on. I'll be right. All right, random.org helped me out here, and I have some winners for the ConvoCal. So the Conversation Knits was a year-long knit-along that we did in the Yarnings forums for 2015. We do not currently have a year-long cal going on right now, but I'm open to ideas if you guys want to do something. So we had 12 people who participated in the Conversation Knits ConvoCal this last quarter, and I have drawn 2 winners. So one winner will be getting this that I really, really like. This is a cute little bag, a teeny tiny bag that is like my bag. This is Little Woodland Creatures. And then we've also got a, what does she call it? Espresso Your Needles. This is a work in progress cozy. So you stick your needles in here and it keeps them from stabbing things and it keeps them from the stuff falling off your needles, which is awesome. And I have one in, where did I put it? It's in something right now. It was holding something that I wasn't done with. So this has a nice little snap in it. And so the winner of this cute little, graciously donated by Java Jenny, Kitchen Counter Crafter, is Sabrina, who is from Savannah, Georgia. So if you will message me your address, I will put this and maybe some other little goodies in the mail to you. And not including my work in progress in this bag. But these are your very own, and they have been lovingly put in tissue paper here by Java Jenny for us. So the second winner is Chevirel, who is Chevis. I don't know if I'm saying that right. And she made some cool mitts that she got to do twice. So Shavas, if you will message me on Ravelry and pick out a pattern on Ravelry up to $7, I will gift that to you. So those are our prizes for this time. One in the mail, one not in the mail. And I am really happy for all 12 of you who played along. All right. Let us move into Sagas of Geekery. Sagas of Geekery! No, I don't actually have anything over there to show you for that. Alright, so this week we played Trajan and Castles of Burgundy. Castles of Burgundy last night, once I had my socks going, and Trajan at the beginning of the week. And those are 2 of the games on my 10 by 10 list, which are 10 games that I intend to play 10 times during the year. So far in January, I have played 8 of the games on my list. So I may still get in Race for the Galaxy and Istanbul. Those are the 2 that I haven't played yet this year. I might still get those in this weekend, so I'll be one step closer to my goal, because I know that as the year goes on, we might get additional games, and that is how my 10 by 10 got a little waylaid last year. So by doing a 10th of the list in the first month, that gets me a little ahead and space to play other games that come as the year goes on. All right, so for now watching, I finished Flashpoint. I love that it got a little more of a bigger storyline arc as the show went on. Probably seasons 3 and up were a little more storyline oriented, that there was an actual arc that went through things. Really good show. I am so glad that I finished watching that. And now I am on Alias. I had started on it, but now I'm back to it. I took a break and watched Flashpoint in between. So I finished season 1 and I'm on to season 2. This is the second time I'm fully watching it through, and it is great fun. I love that I'm back in the era when it was recorded because it's so similar to Buffy era stuff. It's a little bit later than Buffy, but it's definitely got some of the pop culture stuff from that carries through, like some of the songs and stuff. And yeah, it's such a good show. I really like Jennifer Garner. I really like a lot of the supporting cast. So we are finishing Farscape. We have 2 episodes and then the movie to go. And we watched Interstellar last weekend. And that was good. That had some emotion to it. But it was a really interesting movie. I'm glad that I watched it. And then we're watching Agent Carter. For now reading, we finished Lock-In by John Scalzi. That was quite good. I think I said last week, I really liked the extra history that he put into world building for the story. And that was a really interesting world to dive into. So now we have moved on to another Will Wheaton narrated book, Armada by Ernest Cline. We really enjoyed Ready Player One by Ernest Cline. So the reviews on this one aren't quite as awesome as Ready Player One, but I'm looking forward to it. We are not very far into it yet. We will. This will be a good one. Did I read anything else this week? I think I brought some books back to the library, some quilting books, but I didn't really thoroughly read them. Okay, for fanciful chatter, I got some new makeup this week. I am trying out a new combo of lip color right now. This is a lip liner that is pinky, maybe that's what it's called. That's the color on the outside. And then I really love my high voltage lip color, so I got a few more colors, and this is Dahlia, and it is almost black. But when you layer it over the pink, it just makes the pink deeper. So it's almost got a purple kind of feel to it. I really think that's cool. So that's the combo I am wearing right now. I also got a soap dish that is tilted, that's supposed to keep your soap lasting longer. I had a picture of that on Instagram if you wanted to see. And where did she go? In one of my Amazon boxes of other things this week, I threw in Avengers Age of Ultron Black Widow because I love this version of Black Widow. She has curly hair. Let's see if I can pull her out without much noise here. So she's got a little more curl to her hair than some of the Funkos, and she will live up there. Up there with the other little girls. So now I have 5. And she's got her, we called it her Tron costume because it's black with kind of lit up blue edging on it. So that was kind of a fun, let's see if I can pull this out of here. There is a sand in the bottom of the box. It's right here in her little foot, and then she can stand up. And half of my guys are bobbleheads and half of them aren't, but that's okay to me. So this will go up on the shelf where you can see even higher up. There's all the boxes for them. So that is definitely fanciful and silly, but I love that. Okay, Book of Cooking. I've been trying really hard to not overexert myself because I have really not wanted a migraine. And so we did some jazzed up things. So I took a bag of frozen gnocchi from Trader Joe's, And when I cooked it up, I added some sauteed peppers and then served it. What did I serve it with? Oh, acorn squash. So I cut an acorn squash in half and roasted that. That takes a little more time, but it doesn't take a lot of time. And sausages, just some cut up sausage pieces. And that was a low impact. I didn't have to do a lot to make it work out, and it turned out really good. And then we had cinnamon rolls, just frozen ones that I could stick in the oven, and a scramble. I took some of my leftover butternut squash from last week and added eggs and veggies. Pretty easy. And then last night we had Mickey-roni and cheese. So it was pasta shaped like Mickey heads, and we got it at Disneyland when we went. We just went to the outer edges of Disneyland, the Disney store, and I got it out and realized it had a packet of powdered cheese like you get with Kraft mac and cheese, and I had already planned on making a sauce. So I made my normal bechamel sauce, added cheese to it, and then put the pasta in that, and that was delicious. And I cut up a yam and roasted it with some spices, some red pepper flakes and that kind of stuff, and that. So yeah, I've just kind of been taking stuff that's fairly easy and making it a little bit nicer and going with that. Probably more of that kind of stuff to come. Oh, for Fanciful Chatter, I was going to show you my shawl. So this is the first of my Wren shawls. So it's a little compressed because it hasn't been reblocked since I made it. But it's got this beautiful blue in it. This is what I used when I was designing it. So I brought a skein of yarn and an idea on a trip and turned it into a shawl, and that was my first pattern. The yarn is Black Trillium. I had only ever gotten one skein of her yarn. It was her Coraline colorway. That was a Dye for Glory at the first Sock Summit. And so when I saw she had a skein that was called Bella, and I was desperately in love with the Twilight series, so blue eyes, brown hair, I had to get it. And so this was my second skein of Black Trillium ever, and turned it into the design. So that's the story about that. For Happiness Continues, I didn't have anything specific I was going to tell you about. I am just appreciating a migraine-free week and appreciating being able to do little bits of things at a time, setting things up for success, like having my husband bring some piles of things downstairs that I could slowly put away, things that otherwise I would have had to do a lot of walking myself. That wasn't in the plans this week or last week. So just setting myself up for success so that I can make small steps towards my goals. That seems like a good plan, and I think that's a good place to end. So, you can engage with me on the internet. I would love to chat with you and see what you're doing. You can do that by finding me on Instagram. I am Katie Elby. I am Christine on Ravelry with a K. I did those backwards. You can find the Yarnings podcast group, which is a great place to converse on episode threads or even start your own threads. That's the Yarnings podcast group on Ravelry, and the show notes with links to everything that I talk about are at yarningspodcast.com, all squished together. All right, so until next time, guys, that's the story. Bye.